What's going on, everybody? It's been a while, but welcome back to the channel. And we are less than a week away from the Premier League. But in this video, I want to talk about all the transfer activity that's gone on with Liverpool in the past. Talk a little bit about Jeff Bezos' consortium investment and whatnot, and looking ahead to Newcastle for a season opener. So let's start with the transfer window market. You've heard all the talk from various Anfield, or should I say Liverpool fan channels, like the Anfield Agenda, Donald Sam, Redman TV, Cop TV, and so on and so forth. I'm just going to give my quick 2 cents about this transfer window. I think it's all connected. What I mean by that is that, we've not really had many big transfers and all that, right? We're still in the midst of trying to get Bradley Barcola and Mbaye into the Liverpool squad. It's going to be a saga, as we all kind of predicted. But the reason why, I think, is because the higher ups, FSG, they were dealing with the consortium investment, the minority stake, and I think that's why we were so quiet, if you will, in the transfer window. Because if you look at Tottenham, they were really they really went full bore, full blast in the transfer window. So compared to Tottenham, compared to even the new clubs like Ipswich and Coventry, we spend less than them. So that's a concern. So I would think that Barcola and Mbaye, they'll be coming in maybe towards the end of the transfer window. I don't think they'll come in before the start of the new season. And also, we want to talk about Cody Gakpo to Spurs for 73 million pounds, obviously. My personal opinion, I mean, we've already had Robertson going to Spurs. We kind of don't want to sell Cody Gakpo. I don't want to sell Cody Gakpo to Spurs. If anything, I would rather use Cody Gakpo as a player exchange for the Barcola and Mbaye transfer saga, if you will. That's just my opinion. So, but it is what it is. If we can get 73 or 70 million pounds at least for Cody Gakpo, I think it's a good transaction. It's a good business, because don't forget, we bought him during the last World Cup in Qatar for, I think, 37.5 or 38 million. So you get 70 out of him. I think that's a really good business. Massive profit considering how much we bought him for. And of course, reinvest the funds for Barcola and Mbaye. Add on to the transfers that we have with Victor Munoz and Ronald Araujo on loan, which, by the way, that Ronald Araujo loan signing has a option to sign permanently for 55 million pounds. So let's see how he works out this season. I hope all goes well for him, and well enough that we would make the transfer permanent, because Van Dijk is leaving at the end of the season. So is Alisson. So and I think Joe Gomez will leave as well. So with only Jeremy Jacquet and Leone for next season, I think having Ronald Araujo to be the new captain, so to speak, I think it would be a good option if he does well this season. Now let's go to the Jeff Bezos-led 1892 Holdings minority stake investment in Liverpool. I've had concerns with this minority stake purchase initially, because I think of Newcastle's Consortium and how Newcastle is shaping out right now. The fact that they are selling their key players left, right, and center. But FSG, the thing about FSG is that they for the most part, they know what they are doing. So they are not selling the club straight away, obviously, right? They're going to slowly phase themselves out of the club, starting with this massive 30% stake investment from this consortium led by Amit Bhatia and Jeff Bezos. and the co-founder of Facebook. Offhand, I can't remember his name, but these three billionaires, we're talking multi-billionaires, coming together, forming this consortium to buy a significant minority stake in Liverpool, which I think it's at the end of the day, I hope it's a good move. I trust FSG to make this as a good move. Now, what does that mean for the club? You know, the future transfer markets, if you will, because let's be honest, I don't think the funds will come in during this transfer window. So we have to make do with what we have, and I think that's why. Uh, excuse me. I think that's why Cody Gakpo has to be sold to bring in Barcola and Mbaye. For future transfer markets, maybe as soon as the winter transfer window, yeah, maybe we could see a couple of more signings. Maybe the funds will be injected into the club, but don't expect much in this initial stage. Don't expect like hundreds of millions of pounds suddenly going into going into Liverpool Football Club, and the club's gonna spend. You know, they're gonna splash the cash. We're not. One thing about Liverpool, up until the last summer transfer window, we're not known to really splash the cash. All right, and even when we did splash the cash, it's through player sales. All right, so Florian Wirtz, Alexander Isak, when they came in for 100 and 125 million pounds, you know, we had to sell players to get funds just to bring them in, and we used the prize money as well to bring them in. So this Barcola thing and Mbaye thing is the same thing. So don't expect Liverpool to splash the cash just because there are funds coming in. They're gonna play smart about it, because let's not forget about player contracts as well. Speaking of players, let's talk about the upcoming game, Newcastle. We're gonna open up the season at St James's Park, and I talked about Newcastle earlier. I think this is the best time, the most opportune time for us to get a win, to open up the season with a win, because Newcastle, all their players, their key players are being sold or are already sold. Isak, Anthony Gordon, Bruno Guimaraes, who else? Sandro Tonali. You know, all these key players, they've already been sold, and so far there's no new major signings going into Newcastle. So I'm not saying Newcastle is a bad team, but given their so-called weakened state, this is our chance to capitalize on that. And I believe Andoni Iraola is going to form up a strategy to capitalize for us to kickstart the new season with a win. Just one side thing about Iraola and my personal expectations for him. I know that most Liverpool fans would say, you know what, Iraola, just get us to a top four finish this season. For the most part, I agree with that. For me, though, when I look at Iraola, again, he's a young manager. He has done very well with Rayo Vallecano. He has done very well with Bournemouth. But now that he is in Liverpool, I'm very certain, and I think you people out there would think the same way, that now that you're in Liverpool, you need your first trophy. Iraola needs his first trophy. And I think, assuming that he's only spending 2 years at Liverpool because of his 2-year contract, this is the time for him to win one trophy. So my expectations for Liverpool and Iraola this season is one trophy. Any trophy. Ideally, for Iraola's managerial progression and for Liverpool's building back up from Arne Slot's disastrous last season, ideally, I think the one cup that they can achieve, the one trophy that they can achieve, is the Carabao Cup. We are the most successful club in the Carabao Cup history with 10. With Iraola managing the team, given he's a young manager, we could go for number 11. The ramifications of this, significant, because winning the Carabao Cup, actually winning any either domestic trophy, whether it's the Carabao or the FA Cup, guarantees you European football next season. So this is actually kind of a fallback expectation on my part for Iraola, because if we don't get top 4 or top 5, but we win the Carabao Cup, that's European competition for next season, albeit the Europa League. I know that we are going for Champions. We want to go for Champions League and all that. I'm very aware. I'm just saying, for Iraola, what if, as a young manager, I think if he's only spending 2 years at Liverpool, why not make the most out of it? Why not be smart about it? Go with the Carabao or the FA Cup. If you can go both, why not? But Carabao Cup in this first season, Europa League guaranteed for next season, and next season go from there and potentially win a Europa League. What that means is, in his 2 seasons, assuming it's only 2 seasons with Liverpool, he can win 2 trophies. He can win the Carabao Cup and the Europa League. Of course, if we can go more, go more. But for me, this season, 1 trophy. Any trophy. Any trophy. Can be Carabao Cup, FA Cup, Premier League, or even the Champions League. But ideally, realistically, Carabao Cup is achievable. Go for it. That's my expectations for Iraola this season. Hopefully, next season, even better for him. So that's my take for this season's expectations for Liverpool and for Iraola. What do you think? Is this a realistic target for Iraola to get his first trophy with Liverpool? Let me know, and I'll see you in the next video. And before I go, my AI song, Scousers Worldwide, it's already in my channel. Check it out. All Scousers, Reds fans worldwide, unite for this season, and I'll see you in the next video.